Okay. So, Audrey and Noah have been athletes for me. Audrey's 7 years. And it's kind of tough to say this, but I've been her only coach for 7 years for the running sports, and sometimes that's not good. Okay? And so she's a person of routine, and over 7 years she's developed a routine. And so I'm going to cover a few things here after I talk about Noah just a little bit, about what that really means if you're looking to go to a new level, going on to college, for just academic reasons or for sports. Routine is very, very important. Noah is somebody that I got to know just by looking at him one day and said, you know what, I think you could be a really good hurdler. And I don't know if you really believe that, because he wanted to be a sprinter, and every kid wants to be a sprinter. But I got to know him playing football, and specifically basketball, good basketball players, and you just kind of hang around and watch, and then you get to talk to some of the kids, so it's kind of fun to watch that. But I think mentioning a three-sport athlete is important, because some of the things that colleges look at, and as a head coach, you realize you do a lot of handshaking while your kids are running or participating, and that's part of the job, is that you need to go and handshake and talk to other coaches, specifically college coaches, because they're always watching. And so these three, and I'm talking more about these two, but I'm going to talk about Colbe too, have been looked at by their performances. And so, or through a handshake. And so now they've gotten noticed, and now they ask the common questions. These are the coaches. What are their grades like? Do they have good grades? You're talking to a person here that thinks A's, B's, and C's are all good grades. Some of the best employees I've ever had, and I'm going to say the best employees I've ever had, were started out as C students going into college. They worked hard, they knew how to work, and they got better in college because they knew how to learn. And so I usually look for C students over A students, because so much less problems when we look at the willingness to work. And so I'm going to say A, B's, and C's. If you're getting those right now, those are really good grades, but eventually you'll see those C's turning into A's maybe after you graduated. Okay, so keep working hard, and get A's and B's. And if you happen to fall to a C, look at what you've learned, and that's a good grade. If you're below that, come on, let's get a little busy here. Let's get some better grades, okay? They also look at what the routines are. How hard have you worked them in high school? That's a common question. For Audrey, they always ask me, how many miles does she run a week? And that makes a difference sometimes, because their bodies are growing and developing. They also look at nutrition, ask about what their parents do for a living, because they want to see how the kids are shaped a little bit. I think that's all sideshow stuff, but the thing that really matters is they always say, are they good kids? And that's how they define good, is those things. Because everybody's mischievous, everybody likes to do some fun things now and then, and maybe at somebody else's expense. That's normal. So I'm going to go over here and talk about Noah first. Personality. Noah's got a great personality. Coaches see that. I'm sure Northern State saw that. And he's going to be doing the decathlon things, is what they want him for. So tell them a little bit about that, what that is.
So what I have to do is I have to run 10 events in 2 days.
10 events in 2 days, and this is a hurdler who got noticed. Been in state meet for a couple of years, one of our honor roll, number 8 on the top 10 list in Staples-Motley School of History, and is going to be doing a totally different event, and that's what they're looking at because of him being a three-sport athlete. It's a good, positive thing. Audrey has had success her whole running career. As a 6th grader, undefeated in junior high races when 6th graders could run junior high. And I've told this story a gazillion times, but one of her first races, she's running in Moorhead, and she's way ahead as a 6th grader, beating freshmen on down through 6th grade. And she goes off the course, and she's about, I don't know, 300, 400 meters off the course, which is in front of the cart. And she gets back on the course and still wins the race. And got caught back up and beat all those kids. And that, there's like 400 kids in this race. And so that was pretty impressive. And so that's one thing I've always remembered about her. Audrey has numerous school records, and I'm going to mention those real quick. She's been noticed by lots of schools, and so it's been quite a ride for her, I think. A lot of stress for her and her parents, I think, with trying to choose where she's going to go. She holds a school record in the 4x800 meter with a few other girls. 800, she's 1600, 3200 school record holder, state champion in 4 events, and cross country state champion in the 5K, holds school record in 5K. We can go on and on and on and on. If you go look in the wall of fame out here, her face is in lots of pictures, and so that's something I want you to see too. Probably the most decorated athlete that we've had in running sports in school history. So going to Tulsa, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Tulsa. Never met that coach, but she has, and it was a good fit for her. And so I'm very proud of them. And so as they sign their letters here, I looked here, there's nobody signing X. They are meaningful. And now they are on the clock. They have signed, which means they have accountability, that they're going to be performing and doing the things that'll keep them doing well in school too. So I'm very proud of them. Give them a round of applause, all three.
Right now, Mr. Tappe come up and talk about Colbe as his baseball coach.
Welcome. I was coming in hot from another meeting at the elementary school this morning, so I had to go second. I'm glad that I went second because Bruce paved the way for all 3 of these athletes. And I think more so than just being athletes, all 3 of these individuals sitting in front of you are good people. And that is the most important thing. They're good students, they're good people, and they do the right things. And so, I could have a story for each of these individuals as well, but I'm not going to take a lot of time. I do want to say that it doesn't happen by accident for these 3 individuals to be sitting in front of you. The journey to success is often lonely, and I've said that to my own kids. People see the accolades and understand what happens when you're standing on a podium. There will be a lot of people that will greet you and tell you how good you've done and understand and appreciate the successes that you've had. The things that they don't see is the work that happens in the early morning, the late night, the nutrition, the rest, the recovery, the things that they do in the classroom, the long hours they spend training, the extra things. Because guess what? Every single kid in the entire state practices from 3:30 to 5:30. You don't get this with just practicing from 3:30 to 5:30. And coaches recognize that, but I think that's the story that needs to be told, is every single person has an opportunity to achieve success. It's just what you do with that opportunity. It's what you do with the work. It's what you do with the time that you have. And I think one college coach put it best. He asked his athletes, how much time do you spend on your cell phone or playing video games? And the average answer was about 7 hours a week. Some of you probably more, maybe some of you less. But what if you took that 7 hours a week and put it towards your training or towards something purposeful or intentional? That can change things. That can be life-changing. so that's my challenge for these three when they go to college. Because when you go to college, you become independent. And you have a lot of choices to make and a lot of sacrifices to make. My challenge to you is you've done it in high school. You need to figure out how to continue that path to the next level. And so, I'll talk about Colbe. Obviously, Colbe being my son, I've gotten to see his journey along his entire career as an athlete here in Staples-Motley. And I often got asked before he made his decision, what's he going to do? Is he going to play football? Is he going to wrestle? Is he going to play baseball? And he had opportunities to do all three at different levels. And when Holly and I sat down with him, we said, okay, what are you thinking? Because this is your journey, not ours, right? And the two things that came to mind with Colbe were, I want to play for a team that is going to be successful and good, and I want to play early. I don't want to go somewhere where I'm going to sit and watch. Now I said, that's going to require you to do some things from now until then to earn that spot, because nothing is given, it's earned. And so when Colbe started narrowing down and getting his ideas of what he wanted to do and where he wanted to go, he was looking at Utah, he was looking at Central Michigan, he was St. Cloud, Mankato, Augustana. Once he went on his second visit to St. Cloud State, it was, I feel like I can play here, and I think that they're going to have a really good team, and that's kind of what made his decision. And I'll say this, not because he's my son, but he's probably one of the most decorated athletes that I've ever seen in three sports. And I think Audrey said it best. Colbe was like the Dave Winfield of Staples-Motley. State champion wrestler, was on a state runner-up football team, and has been a huge cog for our baseball program since 7th grade. And that's a pretty impressive run. But again, I'll reiterate the fact that he doesn't miss a weight room day. He's doing the right things in the classroom. And he's, that journey, that climb of that mountain, that loneliness of doing those things, that's what got him to this point. And I'm sure that's what got Noah and Audrey to where they're at. Track is easy. It's not about doing what's easy, it's about doing what you believe is right to get you